historic period where our nation's greatest achievement, public education, is under an insidious and full-scale attack. We are at war, and instead of working with the enemy, inviting charter school promoters like Bill Gates to our convention, or touring the country with Arne Duncan to promote the most anti-teacher, anti-public education policies called Race to the Top. We need to stand squarely in defense of our members, our students, and of the right to public education. Electing me, Steve Kahn, Tanya Kapner, and our entire Eon BAM slate will send the clearest message to Washington that the days of company unionism are over. Yeah. That capitulation and collaboration between the AFT and Arne Duncan are finished. When elected, the first thing I would do is hold a press conference right here in Seattle and announce that the AFT was done running Arne's race.
That's right.
We're not playing this game of winners and losers. There truly is a new AFT, and we demand that Arne Duncan step down now as Secretary of And I would hail the decisions of states like Indiana and Vermont that refuse to even apply for Race to the Top. And I would encourage other states and locals to do the same thing. We don't have to go along with Race to the Top. We can defeat it. And we can demand that President Obama tax the corporations and demand that they pay their full share. Not a tax write-off, but that they pay their taxes with a democratic public accountability to our students. Electing me in the BAM slate means standing on our independent power as a union, breaking free of the view that electing the same politicians who are screwing us, whether or not they call themselves Democrats, and then thinking that they're the ones who are going to save us while they're waging the biggest attacks on public education that many of us have ever seen in our lifetime, that doesn't make sense. We've got to stand independently and squarely on our own strength, on 1.4 million members and the millions of students and community members whom we serve. Because if there's one thing I learned from my family, it was that when you're dealing with abuse and you're dealing with a bully, you got to stand up to that bully and you've got to break free. We have our own strength, we stand our own dignity. That's why I'm running. Your vote for me and the BAM slate means to vote for the simple act of telling the truth, and that public education isn't a race, it's a right. Innovation is not new, it's simply allowing private billionaires like Bill Gates and Eli Rhodes to think that they can use their money to run education like a plutocracy, where a small elite decides the fate of millions and millions of young people and the future of our nation. Your vote for me and BAM is to stand